Hey guys, welcome back to Guru Beauty. I'm Jodie, and in preparation for IMATS in Sydney this month, September 2013, I thought what I would do is get together the products that I purchased at last year's Sydney IMATS so that you can plan and prepare and head to the right stand when you go to IMATS this year, or to create a bit of a shopping list. So the first thing I'm going to start with would have been my biggest purchase at IMATS last year, and that was from INGLOT. INGLOT is a Polish brand of cosmetics that is absolutely beautiful. They have a really large range of eyeshadows, a nice range of blushes, some eyeliners, pigments, a whole bunch of really lovely products, including quite a few different lip products as well. Now, INGLOT is typically difficult to get a hold of. They used to be in the West Australian market. They have since exited. You can buy them online the world over, but they do have sort of a few stores here and there up and down the east coast in Australia. I'll include a link to their website down below, but they are a sought after brand. They're seen as sort of equivalent to MAC, if not maybe a little bit better depending on who you ask in terms of quality and range, but the price point is just a little bit lower than MAC too. Now, they are very well known for their Freedom palettes, which work on a sort of magnetic system. One drawback being that you can't see the shade name unless you actually pull the palette out, and that can be difficult to do and it can cause damage to the product if you do try to do that. I picked up their largest Freedom palette, their 40 palette, and for the 40 palette they have a preset sort of really bright colour ones and then a neutral type one, and I picked up the neutral type one. They had a few blanks when they released it. I have quite a few different palettes of INGLOT. This is my first and only 40 palette. I really haven't used it a whole lot because it is so large, I think, but I love INGLOT eyeshadows. I do use my INGLOT eyeshadows. I just have not reached for this palette very often, but I will be very pleased to keep this as part of my collection and remind myself to use it a little bit more. But I would consider looking at INGLOT. That is usually one of the most crowded stands of IMATS all day long because it is such a difficult brand to get a hold of, you know, normally, and at a discounted price at IMATS, it's definitely worth going and checking out INGLOT. I love my eyeshadow palette. You can buy each eyeshadow in single pan form. You can buy these Freedom palettes in duos, in quads, in 5s, I think 10s and 20s. So really versatile, and you can mix up whether you put blush with eyeshadow in a palette, lipsticks in a palette, that kind of thing. Nice and versatile, quite heavy. So think about that if you are packing a suitcase, but I really love INGLOT eyeshadows and blushes and would recommend that you check them out while you're there. Now, another thing that I specifically looked for while I was at IMATS that is typically difficult to get is MakeupFor Ever. MakeupFor Ever is accessed very, very easily in the UK. It's from France. It's also widely available in Sephora stores. So we see a lot of American YouTubers in particular talk about MakeupFor Ever. In Australia, it's quite limited distribution. MakeupFor Ever you can find online from Australian sellers, I think at Makeup and Glow, and also PM Studio. I will include links to those down below, but PM Studio is the company that brings MakeupFor Ever to IMATS. At least that's where I got my MakeupFor Ever from when I visited IMATS, and this was the biggest purchase I made from the MakeupFor Ever stand. This is something I've looked at for years and not been sure if I would use it. This is their Flash color case. It includes 12 different colors, very, very bright, and it's basically like a painter's palette. They're very creamy products, and the idea is that you can use them, you know, all over your face as lipstick colors, eyeshadows. You mix and match. Actually, Beauty by Brittany did a fantastic video a little bit after IMATS. I think she picked up one of these as well because they were significantly discounted, I think from, you know, $125 down to $90 or something like that. So she did a great video showing a few different lip combinations that she made with a few of the shades in this palette. I have used this a lot for my girls' dress-ups. I've used this as face paint and I just mix and match the colours. It's fantastic. So again, this is one of those products that I'm going to put aside after making this video and make sure I can see it when I'm getting ready. A couple other products that I picked up from MakeupFor Ever while I was at IMATS last year was this little number. It's their Aqua Brow Waterproof Eyebrow Corrector. I got this one in the colour 25, and it's basically a cream product that you dispense out and then use a brush to apply to your brows. What I love about this, especially going into spring and then summer is not that far away for us in the southern hemisphere, is that it is waterproof. It does last all day. You can apply it heavily, you can apply it sheer, you can get a very nice natural look, you can get a very defined opaque type brow with this. I love it. I would probably be interested in looking at the lighter colour at the PM Studio stand this year, but I really like this product and would recommend you check it out if you are looking for a new product to define your brows with. Another product I bought was the Aqua Rouge Waterproof Liquid Lip Colour from MakeupFor Ever. I got this one in the shade 15, just a nice everyday pink. And this one is one that I really haven't used a whole lot. It's one that you paint on and you wait for it to dry and then apply the clear gloss over the top. It's an alright product. I think I'm just not generally a fan of these kinds of products. I keep buying them because I do like that they last all day. They're not the most comfortable, but these are decent and they have a decent colour range there. So check those out if you like those long wearing colours that you top with a lacquer. Another couple of products that I really like from MakeupFor Ever are their concealer. This is their Camouflage Cream. I have it in the shade number 15. Really nice for concealing blemishes and pigmentation on the face. Just a nice concealer. And also their DuoMat powder foundation. This is one of those powders that can be used as a powder foundation, or you can apply it sheerly just as a finishing powder for a little bit of coverage. I do really like that powder. It is quite versatile. I like powders with coverage. And this one is in the shade 203, which was a pretty good match for me. Do also check out if they have them, their Diamond Dusts and also their black eyeshadow. Temptalia has rated the MakeupFor Ever matte black eyeshadow as the blackest of the lot, at least at some point in time. So that is something that I would be looking for at that stand myself. MakeupFor Ever is just a great brand. I would recommend that you check them out. And I have a feeling that their new brushes, which have launched in the States, probably will not be at IMATS this year, but I will be looking for them because they look beautiful. Another place that I stopped at was a brand that you typically, again, can't really find in Australia normally, but I headed for the stand pretty early on at IMATS because I think these are beautiful. These are loose pigments from Naked Cosmetics, and they sell these towers, but they have quite a good deal at IMATS. Basically, they sell these loose pigments in sets. This is a set of 6. I think it came in a set of 6. This is the heavy metal stack, and I love all of the stacks that I purchased really from last year. I don't use them often again because they're loose shadows, but I love having them in my collection. And of course, powder products do last quite a while. So I have gotten use out of this, and I love, love, love this blue at the bottom. I did a really dramatic eye with this metallic type blue over a black base quite a while ago after IMATS, and that is one of the most popular looks I think that I've ever done. When I've posted pictures, people want a tutorial of that, so I will have to do that one day. So I would recommend looking at those stacks from Naked Cosmetics. They are lovely shades, and you know, they'll show you different ways that you can work with those pigments if you're interested. I would also recommend stopping by PM Studio for IT Cosmetics. I love IT Cosmetics. This is a brand that is available in the US, not very widely, but you can find it fairly easily. You really cannot find this stuff in Australia. Everything that I have tried from IT Cosmetics, I have absolutely loved. Two of my favourite products from them are the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores Translucent Powder. Really nice powder. They say that it's a poreless finish HD micro powder, similar to the MakeupFor Ever finishing powder, but it is a little bit yellower. It's just got a slightly yellower tinge, but it's that same really fine powder that just sort of flies through the air. But I do find this very, very smoothing and a nice finishing powder, even for you oily ladies too. I think it does help with oil control. This was a favourite powder when I was going through, you know, a strong powder phase. I'm trying to move away from them now. Also, another one of my favourites is their concealer. This is their Bye Bye Under Eye, and I picked this one up in the shade Neutral Medium. And Neutral Medium is a sort of pinky shade. I'm not sure if it'll show up on my hand from that far, but really nice for correcting under eyes. And this has that feeling that it's almost kind of waxy. It has a really nice feel under the eye, very creamy. It lasts a long time, and it is crease resistant but very opaque. You really need the tiniest amount of product and you get quite a lot in this large tube. It will last you a lifetime. It does say that it's got collagen and vitamins C and K, so good for the skin as well. I would recommend checking out IT Cosmetics. I'm looking out this year for a cream that they have that is meant to cover redness. I'm very interested in picking up some more products from IT Cosmetics myself. Another stand that I would recommend you check out is the Embryolisse stand. This is a product that we see time and time again used by the girls on Pixie Woo. They love this for their dry skin. I really like this. I use this typically as a night cream, but now with my skin dried out, I think I really do need to bite the bullet and use this a little bit more often during the day under some of my more matte foundations. This is their standard sort of daily moisturizer. You can pick this up online from Scotty's Makeup. I'm sure there are a few other places where you can pick it up, but IMATS is a great place to pick it up at a discounted price if you are after a really nice, affordable moisturizer that is a favorite of makeup artists around the world as a staple product to prep the skin and keep it hydrated underneath makeup. So definitely check that out while you're at the show. Another brand that's a professional brand that is very difficult to find around the place if you're not at IMATS is Ben Nye. There are a few places that retail Ben Nye at brick and mortar stores. Again, Scotty's Makeup is one of those right near downtown Sydney. So there's a few different places that you can find Ben Nye at IMATS. Scotty's Makeup and Hub Makeup should have stands there. I think there was in one other place that sold Ben Nye at IMATS last year, I'm not sure, but I picked up a few products that I've really enjoyed since IMATS. The first one was a compromise when the stands were sold out of the banana powder, which was one of the things that I was the most excited about picking up at IMATS last year. I ended up picking up their Media Pro Compact Powder for HD in the shade Banana, so the pressed equivalent, I guess, of the loose luxury powder Banana. I did end up having to pick this up from somewhere else. I got this from Camera Ready Cosmetics online. I can include a link to that down below. This is a powder that really was raved about last year quite heavily as a favourite of Kim Kardashian. I found this to be not too yellow at all for my skin, a really nice everyday powder. It was relatively smoothing, really like it. If you can pick this up at IMATS, I would recommend it. You get a whole ton of powder for very little cost and it is a nice one. There are different shades available if you're not interested in that slightly more yellow tone. Another favourite that I picked up from IMATS last year, this is the last one from Ben Nye, but this is their pressed colour palette. This one is their Essential Eyeshadow and Rouge. ESP952 is the code for it, and this is what it looks like. They are all matte, a really nice range of shades of blush, and then a really nice range of eyeshadow shades. I love this palette. I have not used it enough, but a perfect palette for, you know, bridal makeup. Of course, matte shades look very, very nice under photography. I love this palette. It's gorgeous, whether you're a makeup artist or for your own use. I love this. This is one of my favorite purchases from IMATS last year. So go and check out Ben Nye at one of those stands, definitely. This year I also saw on the list that Eve Pearl was presenting, and I think that there is a stand at IMATS this year. I don't believe she had a stand there last year. Of course, Eve Pearl is very well known for her concealers, or her Salmon Concealer, and I had a friend pick this one up for me from the makeup show in America. Thank you, Amy. This is her Dual Salmon Concealer and Treatment in Light Medium, and it's a nice concealer corrector. I would liken it to the Bobbi Brown sort of corrector concealers. Go and check out the Eve Pearl stand, and a demonstration will probably be quite informative and helpful as well. I also did make sure I hit the MAC stand. I had a few things on my list, none of which unfortunately they had stock of at the show, but I did end up picking a few staples that were discounted obviously because of the IMATS environment, and I picked them up and still enjoy them to this day. I would recommend all of these products to you. This is the MAC Cleanse Off Oil, really like that to get makeup and waterproof products off your face. Also the MAC Fix Plus, this is a really nice staple for refreshing your skin throughout the day or to set once you've powdered, just to bring back a little bit more of a natural look to the powder rather than being sort of all powdery and matte. People have lots and lots and lots of different uses for Fix Plus. They are basically the two things that I use this for, as well as spraying down a brush if I'm applying a loose shadow or a pressed shadow if I just want that sort of wet look. That's the other thing that I would use it for. I did also pick up another MAC 239. I love this brush for packing colour onto the lid, also for putting shadow on the lower lash line, smudging out pencil or liner. A really nice all-rounder, gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. You wouldn't think there'd be much difference between eyeshadow brushes like this, but there actually quite is. This is just an absolute pleasure to use, and if you can get this discounted at IMATS, I would recommend you check out the 239. Another product that I picked up, another staple, is their Eye Kohl in Teddy. Just a brown kohl liner, beautiful for smoky eyes, lining the waterline, really like that. And also their chromographic pencil in NC15 NW20. This is a nude colour pencil that you can use to brighten up your eye and give yourself a more awake look by lining the waterline. Also handy for the inner corner. They are the basics that I use it for, but you can also use it to define your brow area, your cupid's bow, lots of uses for a nude shade pencil, but you don't have to spend that much, I don't think, on a nude shade pencil. And I will include a link to a video down below just showing my favourite picks from MAC Cosmetics in general. I think from memory the stand at IMATS really does sell a lot of sort of staple products with a few pro products thrown in there as well. So I would recommend hitting the MAC stand and the INGLOT stand in particular earlier rather than later. I think the MAC stand started running out of products quite early on, but there are a lot of staples there. So hit that one earlier, it is right near the entrance, and then I would hoik it over to INGLOT. I think they probably have more stock, it's a larger stand, but yeah, make those two your earlier visits rather than leaving it till the later in the day or the second day because they may not have stock. That's what happened to me. IMATS is also a great place for lashes at very, very affordable prices. One of my favourite Ardell brand of lashes is the Demi Wispies. They do taper out to a longer length at the end, and the way that they are kind of wispy just make these look very, very natural. I love the Ardell Demi Wispies if you are checking out lashes. And also if you like something a little bit more natural, I would recommend the 305s. They are like a half lash, so you really just get sort of more of that elongation of the eye without such a fake lash look across the whole line of lashes. So really nice just to do some corner lashes if you're after something a little bit more natural. And then of course you can pick up red cherry lashes, very, very affordable, made of 100% human hair. I really liked this style, number 523. I'm also going to be looking for the number 43 lashes from Red Cherry because they are a favourite of not only Sani, Miss May 27 here on YouTube, whose opinion I trust and respect, but also I just see a lot of people on Instagram talk about the number 43 Red Cherry lashes too. I would recommend stopping by the Ray Morris stand. I think she's there again this year, not only giving demonstrations but also a stand with all of her books, all of which I would recommend. Do check the contents of each of them because there is overlap between the books of looks and methods that are talked about. So find the right book that's right for you. Just spend some time having a look at, you know, what's in the books. But her brushes are beautiful. They are available online, but there are quite a few things that are out of stock. So I'm sure that they're continuing, hopefully, because they're really nice brushes. I hate the magnets in them. I have reviewed her whole set of brushes. I will include a link to that down below. But I really love the, you know, 3 different sizes of crease brushes that she has. So they are the number 7 Deluxe Precision Shader, the number 8 Medium Precision Shader, the number 9 Detail Precision Shader. They are all beautiful, really nice pointed taper for crease work. And then I really like her other shaders, the number 11 Medium Oval Shadow, also the number 10, the Tapered Oval Shadow, really nice. And this little number, the Chiseled Smudger, the number 12. Love them. I love her face brushes. It is a really nice set, apart from the magnets, which aggravate me, but definitely check out her brushes. And then the last 2 brands of brushes that I wanted to recommend to you to check out. The first one is Hakuhodo, a beautiful luxury brand of handmade brushes from Japan. Hakuhodo brushes are known to be very high quality, beautiful feeling, very soft brushes. They have a few different sort of levels of quality and the price goes up as you move up. I was so happy with the brushes that I bought last year. I'll include a little description because they don't have the numbers printed anywhere on the brush. I can't remember them, but the 3 that I bought last year that I have adored, every single one of them, is this blush brush. It has blush on it because I just used it to apply. This is a beautiful brush. It's perfect for applying blush, also bronzer or highlight, just a really nice face brush. It's probably nice for applying foundation. I've just never used it for that. I need to start looking at using brushes like this for foundation just to see what kind of finish I can get from them. And then the two eye brushes I bought, just different sizes of tapered crease brushes. One of my favorite types of brushes, and I'm so excited that Wayne Goss's collection includes a few different sizes of crease brushes, because as you can see, I love them. They're beautiful. They really help to create just a really nice defined but blended out look with the least amount of work. I would recommend checking out Hakuhodo and just seeing what they have, and you know, they're not all as expensive as you might think. So you might be able to find, you know, one or two that you really fancy that might be within your price range, or you can really blow out your budget at Hakuhodo if the sky's the limit. And then one other place that I wanted to let you know about that I would recommend you stop by at IMATS and check them out is another brush range that is on the other end of the price scale versus the Hakuhodo. Very affordable brushes here from Royal and Langnickel. I think their brushes are absolutely fantastic. Whether you're a makeup artist or for your own personal use, I think you definitely owe it to yourself to go and check out their very large range of brushes. They're very, very soft in many instances, very nice to use, and pretty much they will have a brush for whatever need or use that you have. This brush I picked up at IMATS in New York after a conversation with Kevin James Bennett at the Royal and Langnickel stand. This is the BX101, and it's a lovely kabuki style brush, really nice for applying face powder, even bronzer. You can use it to apply sort of body bronzer as well going into summer. Really nice for applying sort of shimmer or bronzer to your clavicles, even product down your neck. Just a really nice soft sort of face brush. There would be softer brushes, but it's not coarse at all. It is just a really nice sort of synthetic large brush if you're after one of those. And then a couple of my favourite eye products from Royal and Langnickel would include their Eyeshadow MD-BE06, a really nice alternative to the MAC 239 for packing colour onto the lid. Also cream, shadows, paint pots, even pigments. You can use this wet to apply pigments very nicely, and of course, you know, blending out liner, as I was saying, for the 239 from MAC. Just a really, really nice essential type eye brush. Also a smaller version of that, their mini shader C471. I picked this up last year in Sydney. A beautiful brush if you're doing sort of quite precision eyeshadow. You know, sometimes you might do like the inner third, the middle third, the outer third with different pigments. Maybe you're doing wet or cream products. This is a really nice brush for that. The perfect size for packing on with a little bit more precision than you would use the other one for. And then these ones are just a little bit more tapered. I really like the Contour Shadow C265. I use this one either for just blending out a basic look once I've finished. I use this one also for applying, you know, like a powder or like a translucent powder all over my eye before I start laying down colour. Or if I'm just doing a really loose, like a bronzer for like loose defining in the crease, I'll use this. It's just a really nice taper, really nice and quickly, does the job very easily, nice blended look. I love tapered brushes, I've said it already plenty of times in this video. This one as well is a smaller version. It's the Royal and Langnickel from the Brush Essentials line, their crease BE17. Just a very, very basic crease brush. This is going to be as cheap as you can get. It's not anywhere near as soft as the others, but if you're doing like a cut crease look, if you're just wanting to place something like a cream product right into the crease and you're going to blend it out later, or you're going to lay down color or powder over it, this would be a nice product for that. It is a very, you know, synthetic, a little bit more stiff than a lot of other crease brushes, and just a, you know, basic. You could do your outer V with this brush as well, and it's going to be very, very affordable. So if you are after a crease brush that does not cost you much at all, I would check out this crease BE17. So that is it for me this year. I am particularly excited to check out a few more of the MakeupFor Ever products. Also just the latest IT Cosmetics and Ben Nye as well. I probably will be stocking up a little bit more on Embryolisse, but especially I'm just really looking forward to the demonstrations this year. The shows between the two stages are just back to back to back to back. Plenty of really great speakers and demonstrators. I'm just really excited about the shows in particular this year, as well as seeing all of you. So if I haven't mentioned earlier, I will be going on the Saturday. IMATS is down at the Darling Harbour Convention Centre in Sydney over Saturday, September the 21st to Sunday, September the 22nd. If you ask me, I think that you really do only need one day to cover all of IMATS. It is quite small, but it would depend as well on the demonstrations. It does open later on a Sunday, so if sleeping in is your thing and you want to get there relatively early to when the doors open, then Sunday might be a better day for you. But then if you're worried about particular stock being in stock, then maybe Saturday might be a better day for you. If you do see me there, definitely say hi. I would love to see you. I will include a link down below to the website, which gives you ticket buying access as well as access to the exhibitor list, the floor plan, so you can see who will be where with what products. There's links to their websites there as well. You'll also see a schedule for the demonstrations and the speakers who will be there at the show, and everything you need to know about parking and how to get there as well. I hope that this has helped some of you. Thank you so much for watching. Have a beautiful day, and we'll see you again really, really soon. And I hope to see many of you at IMATS. Bye.